All right, what's up, you guys? This is another episode of Two Man and a Lady. It's just me and Katie talk one on one. Conscious TV had another engagement. How you doing, Katie?
I am great. Thank you for having me again, Wiley.
Yes,
Hello,
yes,
Chad. Thank y'all for having me.
yes. So it's just been a day. How was your day today?
It was great. I was actually off work today, so I got a lot of running around out of the way and everything. Back home just in time to take a nap and be right here on time.
Yeah. So we first want to open up with this topic, and I want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in to last week episode. So y'all really like Conscious, y'all really like Katie Talk One on One. But I sent you the topic for in Ohio. I want to read this. Ohio governor announced any adult who gets vaccinated will automatically be entered into a statewide 1 million lottery. How do you feel about that?
When I heard that, when you sent me that was the first time I seen it actually. And the first thing I thought is you are targeting lower income people. And if people, I'm pretty sure they've done statistics on this, but if you look at the statistic of lottery sales, you can look and see in those poor areas, that's where they sell the most lottery tickets. More poor people are gonna play the lottery, in hopes to get rich. And on the other hand, not only that they targeting poor people, it made me feel like it's something going on as far as what they're trying to put in us. It don't look like it's something healthy for us. Um, I don't know if you guys heard it was this certain doctor. I can't think of his name right now, but I did. I kind of breezed through this article, but it was an actual doctor saying in 2 years, everyone who's took the vaccine is going to disintegrate. So that means like pass away, disappear, disintegrate. And I was thinking, this doctor, he probably gonna have his license to. I'm gonna have to find that article. I'll make sure I drop it in the comment section after the show over with. But I most definitely think they're targeting lower income people, trying to push and encourage them to take this.
I feel like for me, I think it's a good idea because we do need to be vaccinated. I was vaccinated. We have taken shots when you were a baby, right? Every baby
Yeah.
I think take shots. I think most Americans get shots for their babies so their babies can get up to date with their shots. I think my sister just had her baby and she just recently took the baby to get the shot. So I don't understand why it's such a problem. It's a lot of white people taking this
A lot of
vaccine. It's not
yeah.
like, see, I would have believed in this conspiracy if they were just in black neighborhoods only. If they were just in black neighborhoods, going to Arkansas into the poorest of the poor black neighborhoods only, and say, "Hey, y'all, we got this. We got this vaccine. Like we got some fried chicken and watermelon. Come take it."
Yeah.
It was only targeted for us, like they did for the Tuskegee experiment. It was just in those black neighborhoods. So this is different. When I took the vaccine, it was majority white people in the pharmacy, and I was the only black guy. So
Yeah, they're running.
I don't think it's a conspiracy to take people out. I think that it's a history that black people that it's a well documented history. You go back to slavery, that how they treated black bodies, and how they, and you can even go back, Henrietta Lacks, when she went to the hospital, they took her cells. She died from cancer. They took her cells and made $1 billion empire, and her family is still poor. So
Oh wow.
black people understand this by history, that we don't trust the medical system, because the medical system have always been designed to take out black people. It have always, you can go back to history. So this is why you got Minister Farrakhan from the Nation of Islam saying, hey, don't take the vaccine, don't put that poison in your body, because they can give you a history of what black people was going through in the medical system. So, but I just said, hey, listen, I did my research. I listened to some black doctors that went on television. Shout out to Tyler Perry. He did an amazing show on BET talking about the importance of taking the vaccine. So I took it. I didn't have any like symptoms like dizzy, falling out, bleeding out of my, no, I just had a sore arm, and about 2 days that cleared up, and it was great. I was on my way. And as you can see, some of the cases went down. It's not as bad as it was. This is nowhere
Right.
like we was last year. Last year, it was terrible. New
It
York,
was.
it went rampant in New York. You know what I'm saying? And it's nowhere near how it's going on in India. So obviously,
Right.
the thing is working. It's just that people with these conspiracy, it gets the most noise because it sounds good. But if you didn't
Yep.
research and bring in other doctors and have a well-informed conversation, you just get a one-sided argument. It sounds good. Don't take that. Don't put that poison in your mouth and I mean in your body. That sounds good. But did you really do your research on why you say it's poison, or you just automatically just saying it because it's a good hashtag?
I think this. Look at all the commercials now. Look at okay, this is a perfect example. It was people who were on a medicine to maintain HIV. I don't know if you heard about it, Wiley, but this is some kind of medicine that can destroy your pancreas, your liver. Did you hear about the recall they did on that medicine?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard of that. But go ahead.
But this is a medicine that a lot of people dealing with the HIV epidemic, they took this medicine thinking that it's going to maintain them and keep them in the clear and on a healthy level when it comes to managing their HIV. And now a lot of them have passed away due to that medication. Wiley, how many times have you seen those commercials? Oh, if you took this drug, call this number. There's a class action lawsuit. Come on, what I think like this, what would make this one thing, this vaccination that they came up with so quick, it took longer to come up with a vaccination for the flu.
And see, this is another misconception that people keep saying. It was really fast. No, they have already had this stuff in the development. When you're a scientist, when they're making vaccines, they have already had this stuff in development for other things, right? And they're just tweak it just to tackle the C-19. But this have been in development for years. This ain't just happened. It took 6 months and it came out. That's just one of the misconceptions that they run with. Oh, they came out with it so quick. But when
They
you
did.
look at scientists, this week they said, listen, we've been making plans to this and having stuff because they study diseases and plagues. That it's organizations that study this stuff, that plans to this stuff. Right. And so that's why it was able to come out when it did, because scientists have already been making plans for things that goes on in this world. We have organizations that track down diseases and viruses and stuff like that. Now, I'm not a scientist. I'm not. But one thing for me is I try to listen to scientists, especially black scientists, right? I like to listen, and I try to get my research in. But a lot of these YouTubers, and I call them these YouTube conspiracy theorists, they never have a black scientist on, they never have a black doctor on. They just go, they may read one article and just like, boom, this is silver bullet. And I'm like, well, at least bring a black scientist on and try to get their statements as well before we run with this narrative and telling black folks not to take the vaccine, because C-19 is real. It taken out a lot of people. And it's unfortunate. If you see what's going on in India right now, it's just,
yeah, I see it.
It is really, so it is real. At one point, people, if you can go back to last year, People didn't believe that C19 that black people could get it. You remember that? Oh,
Yes, I remember that.
the
Who
melon
came
will
up with
protect you.
that?
You remember that? It will
I
protect
remember
you. We don't get we that's our melon. We black, we from
they
Africa. We
was like, yeah,
and we was
yeah,
like, yeah,
baby.
yeah. And then all these cases start flooding about what's going on in the black community and stuff like that. I just say this, and I don't beat people down when they say I'm not taking it because I understand it's your choice, it's your body. I believe, like a woman, it's a right to choose if you want to, you know what I'm saying, terminate a pregnancy. That should be your right as a healthcare decision. I shouldn't force you to tell you what you should do with your body. Now, I don't agree with the government if they intervene and say, make this mandatory that you must. I don't agree with that. I agree
I
with
don't know.
try your best to promote it and get as many people to take it, just like the flu vaccine. Everybody don't take the flu vaccine. It's a
I
choice.
don't.
They need to keep the same decision for this vaccine, for C19 vaccination. I don't think that anybody should be forced to take it because I don't think that's right. And you would get some resistance, even in the courts, you would get some resistance. And they kind of struck that down because, you know, the court system is like mostly conservative. I don't see that happening, but I don't think you should force somebody to take it. And I don't think you should make somebody feel guilty if they don't take it. I
No,
wear your
exactly.
mask, hand sanitizer, social distance. If you know you didn't take the vaccine, don't go out there without your mask.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? If you know you didn't take the vaccine, why are you going around coughing and sneezing on people when you know you didn't take it? So you should still wear your mask and still have your hand sanitizer.
That's true. That's true. I think you especially if you haven't had it, you should still take those precautions. But yeah, you right. You shouldn't make a person feel bad about taking it because I don't plan on taking it. I don't. Like I said in the last show, if they say in order for you to keep your job, Katie, you have to take this, I probably will go ahead and take it
That's what's
because
going to happen. Our
I
job
gotta make my money.
employers are going to make that mandatory. Like you must take it. If not, you're going to have to wear a mask. Because they did it with the flu. If you don't take, you got to wear a mask. And so kind of like encourage people. Some jobs offering bonuses. I know
Oh,
my job they were offering like $2,000 to $3,000, but it's not go to you personally. It's just go into an employee pot, a pot, and they just split it. So jobs are trying to think of creative ways to make sure their workers are vaccinated because you don't want to open up your place of employment and you get a virus to strike that you lose money because you can't
oh
make
yeah.
money if your workers is sick and with a ventilator. You don't make the money like that. You actually lose.
Right.
So, but I don't know how they're going to handle this. I just told people to do their research, read for yourself. Make sure you're reading the documents. Make sure you call your doctor and make sure you speak to the scientists and don't just take a YouTuber word to say don't take it. Like that's kind of dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure you do your own research and make your decision for your family. Okay.
That's true. Thank you. That's
So
true.
we talked about that. I want to switch gears right now, and I want to talk about this is something that shocked me. Ti and Tiny goes to church, and I saw the video. Ti was speaking as well as Tiny was speaking. And they allow them to go on the in the pulpit to speak and address things that was going on. So, how did you feel about it? Did you see the video?
Yes, I seen the video, and shout out to my radio. That's where I seen the video at. And you know, like I heard her say in the video, the old people always say, if you're scared, go to church. So one thing about it, it's a good thing that they went to the church, the house of the Lord. They need prayer. They need prayer. But I look at it like this. Before you all invited all of that extra into your marriage and into your bedroom, you should have been in church then. Don't wait until everybody's saying you drop stuff in their drinks and you could possibly allegedly be facing charges now. Why do people wait until they get on their last knee to go to church? And they're just looking for a favor. Don't turn to the Lord trying to be manipulative. You trying to manipulate. You trying to get people in your corner feeling like you are innocent. Don't use God to do that because he don't like that. So you should have been going when y'all had these feelings. Oh, I think we're gonna try something new and bring this entire marriage in our bedroom. And we're gonna do this. And I seen an attractive girl over there on the other side of the room. We at a party. Go on and talk to her, baby. Go on and talk to her, Tiny. Okay, I got you, Till. I'm finna get her. Okay, get her. No, y'all should have been praying then before you brought all this ruckus into your bedroom, and now it's crumbling in your life, and even your children are being affected. You seen their daughter getting bullied. I think it was on Bigo or Instagram. Did you see that, Wiley?
It was on Instagram.
Somebody was trolling her, and then somebody was bullying the young one outside of the trap museum. He had to go to the car and get a backpack. Like, people, your families are being affected by this. And you should have been in church before then. But church is a good place to start. But hey, don't go there if you don't have the right intentions, because God will punish you, baby.
And this is the thing for me. I'm torn because I want the investigation to play out. And I want them to, because I know in Las Vegas, the charges, whatever happened at that they didn't find anything wrong in there. So it was no charge to be brought up in Las Vegas. But I think it's an investigation at LAPD. They're investigating Tiny and T.I. It was a lot of allegations that was going on. I don't believe anything happened. What I believe is they invited people in their bedroom and they did some freaky stuff. I just don't think now they're trying to spin a narrative that they forced these people to come in their bedroom, and I just don't see that happening for T.I. and Tiny. I just don't, because in one of the cases, one of the victims, they allege, I saw them in the airport, and they said, "Come, let's go to the hotel room," and you come to the hotel. That just really just don't make sense to me. You in this airport, you go to this hotel room, they give you a drink, and then you say you were dizzy, or was it? You just went there willingly. You had a good time, but now that Sabrina came out and said that T.I. put a gun to her head, now you want to come up, you want some money, and so now you want to spin this whole narrative for a check. I just think that this is a money game. This is they're being targeted to take them down for T.I. stands, for how he does in Atlanta and stand up for politics, and he stand up for rights. I just think they're trying to take them down, and they are freaky. And who ain't freaky? Who don't like threesomes? Who don't like it's people that are into that stuff. I just don't think that they force people to sleep with T.I. and to sleep with Tiny. They would be dumb to just pick somebody up at the airport and say, "Come to the hotel and let me just drop some of your drink."
Let me drop this in you.
Just hump you all night long. And one lady said she started itching and started, I guess, discharging, because I don't know if she had even contracted. It sounded like she contracted a STI. So what I'm saying is, let's wait till this investigation play out before we say that they're guilty. Because what if it comes out and they're innocent? We have already destroyed these two prominent Black people in the community that have helped the community, that have done music, that have done nice to us as Black, as the entertainment factor. But we have already, and this is why I understand it's something real dangerous that is going on right now. It's like, now it looks like all you need is an allegation and for it to go viral and people will believe it. It ain't, well, let's wait till we investigate. Let's wait till we get all the facts. It look like that don't get half the clout or the spotlight. It's like, just put an allegation out there, let it go viral. Oh, they canceled. They did it. Yep, they did it. T.I. got in that show. He did it. They guilty.
They guilty. But you know what, Wiley? That's a great point, because they only do that with certain people. As you notice, with certain people, they give the benefit of the doubt. Now, everybody, they don't say you guilty. Look how they did Tory Lanez when it came to that Megan Thee Stallion situation. Everybody immediately crucified him, put him on the cross. It's certain people that get, they get that bag up, they get that support. It just depends on who in your circle too. And another thing is that, yes, it's some people out here that like threesomes. They do a lot of extra stuff. They do a lot of extra stuff. But this shows that, like the old people used to say, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. But not only is not what you do, it's how you do it. It's who you do it with too.
It's
who you do it with.
And this is the thing with T.I., and I understand he's trying to do damage control. I don't think that it's great just to go to church and all, because it make you look guilty. It make you look like you're trying to repent and trying to run for so. What he should do, bring back your podcast. Continue to entertain. Business, keep the business flowing. Even though your show in VH1, you understand that's corporate, but you own the Expeditiously podcast. Keep it going. Once you stop and allow your detractors, because if this is not true, keep going. Just keep your podcast going. Keep doing what you're doing. But going to the church and then having holding your baby up, which I just think that don't look right. You know what I'm saying? You could have had a baby sit down somewhere and you could have stand and took your hat off, had your hat on. But I don't think to the church and did it because it just makes you look guilty. But T.I., he's not a crisis manager. He's not. They need a crisis manager. When you're dealing with something like this, you got to get professional people that are used to dealing with these type of crises. T.I. is not, because if you remember, let's go back when these allegations first came out. T.I. went live. And he shouldn't have did that. And he shouldn't have did that. It's just certain things that T.I. is doing. He's going to just make your music. Continue to do your podcast. Keep it going and allow people that you pay a lot of money, let them handle the noise. But T.I. is trying to handle the noise. He's trying to talk it away. You can't. Only thing that you can do, have the people that let the investigation play out, and you continue to do your podcast. And then when it all come out, and if you're innocent, then you come out and you come to the church, and then you can do a whole, you can shout, speak in tongues. You know what I'm saying? You can do all that. And I do, and this is another thing. I really feel if they went around doing this, they need to get arrested, not just canceled. They need prison time, because you should not put something in someone's drink and they don't have no knowledge of it. You just boom, and I still don't understand why people do that. And without people knowledge, that is just so me. You would come out better to say, okay, Katie and I, let's just pop a pill. Let's pop a pill. Let's get turned. We both agree to do this. But versus me, give me a cake. You got, let me put some. And wait till you get all dizzy. Then you ready to take your clowns out and help me. That's just so sick. And when you a millionaire, you got the money. You got money. And so many people throw themselves at T.I. and Tiny. They rich. They got money. So for you to do this to people and just, I don't believe if this is going on, they need to be in there with Bill Cosby. Go ahead, Kate. I'm sorry.
They need to. You are so right. And then, like you said before, T.I. shouldn't have got up on that live on Instagram. If anything, T.I. should have got with a PR person, his lawyer. They should have got together with a press conference, have Atlanta News there, and address these allegations with your people on your side. If you guys remember, back when Tory Lanez ended up going live on Instagram, who he had behind him? I think that was his lawyer, correct?
Lawyer, yeah.
See? Even he know, and he's not, he's signed to himself. He's independent.
And he's independent. And one thing that Tory Lanez also he have a YouTuber by the name of Ma Radio that defends him all the time. And she's a black woman. So that's good PR.
That's good PR.
And that's opinionated, that have a platform, and that constantly say it's problems in this story. I really don't believe this, Megan Thee Stallion. Why are we rushing this? So that makes it look good for him, because she actually interviewed Tory Lanez's father. But with T.I., he would have came out better if he would allow himself to just wait. And I know he wanted to get it because he's a talker. T.I. loves to talk.
He loves talk.
It's a time that you just go silent and allow your people that went to school for this, that is trained to this, that dealt with other cases like this, do they work.
Yes. You got to that's why those people are there. That's why you hire them, so they can do their job. Absolutely. You don't get up here on Instagram Live, anybody that I did do anything with, it was consensual. So there were people. Who are the people? Now we got more questions.
Absolutely.
You messed yourself up.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about Charlemagne the God. And I'm gonna hold up a video about this. Spanish fly. I still don't know what Spanish fly is. That a drug, Spanish fly? So that's a drug that make you dizzy.
No, it's what they call an aphrodisiac.
Okay.
And they sell it in places like Spencer's, any kind of adult stores, and like that. Yeah, we used to do that. Yeah, back in that was back in high school. Like we, you know, it was the 90s. Like everyone was doing it. You know, like we weren't just constantly doing it, but we have like tried it because you were able to walk in Spencer's and get it, and it's really really potent when it comes to the mixture of alcohol.
Okay. So
and one thing about that,
so it makes you horny.
Oh yeah, like tingly.
Okay, so he said that he put a Spanish fly in someone's drink, and she said, "Did we have said? Oh, I'm glad it was you." And he made it. He made a joke about it. And my thing is, some stuff is just meant for you. Don't say out loud. You cannot say everything that you think. I just think he was thinking about this stuff and he said it. And if he actually did this, it's a problem because when he was talking about the joke, the white man that was on the podcast was like, "Oh, that's the R word. That's the R word." You know what I'm saying? Oh no, she woke up and we didn't nobody gang R word to her. No, you know, because one when you thrown out of either of them, nobody gang R word, but she did not give consent. You actually put something in there and you did your business.
Yes, and she was passed out. And one thing that I think, this is what I think. A man that has to have a woman under that type of state in order to be excited enough to perform the act, he's not confident, and you know, he probably don't have much down there.
Probably don't.
Because I think he don't have the confidence. Why does she have to be all messed up and about sleep?
Right. And it's like, what though? I'm just not a sick person because I'm like, why would the world would you do that? And okay, you did that. That was wrong. But make it worse. You say it out publicly, you joking about it as though, oh, this is cool. And it's not. It's very problematic. And I was speaking to somebody today. I said, will they cancel him? And I don't know because people just go on social media. I think if these people start writing letters, start to protest and picket outside and really pressure the media to cover this, they will suspend Charlemagne the God and do a full investigation because it's his word. He shouldn't say it.
Thank you.
Charlemagne, his biggest downfall, if he have a downfall, will be his mouth. That will be his downfall. It's his mouth. The same thing with Bill Cosby, and we let's talk about it. Bill Cosby recently went up for parole. The parole board, they denied him because he didn't want to do the courses. Because they want him to do courses, right? He said, "I'm innocent. I'm not doing no course because I'm not no predator." He in his deposition, he admitted of giving women quaaludes. He admitted that was the nail that got him. That's why he's in prison off of his own work. The judge allowed his words and his deposition to be used in his trial. That was one of the key components that really got him. It was his words. If he would have never said that in a deposition, never admitted that, I think Bill Cosby will still be out here a free man. But it's your mouth that will get. And if you keep listening to people, just listen and observe. And this is what I tell women all the time. Listen to a man talk. Listen when they joking. Listen when they tips. Listen. You will get something. And this is the thing. Going back with Charlemagne. Oh my God. When he brought his wife, which was another dumb decision, she sounded like she was a 14-year-old child. How she sound. Oh, hey, yeah. And I told you don't be joking because he made a joke that is it our word if you sleep with somebody that is drunk. And it is because they give consent. And that was his wife. And so his wife had to come and defend him, and she did not do enough job, a good enough job, because it sounded like she need to be out. Somebody need to rescue her, like she in the basement, locked up somewhere. It's just he just does stuff that just, man, it just shocking. Like, wow.
It is. And Wiley, do you know he admitted to doing the R word to his own wife?
He said it. He said that, yes. And his wife came out and said, well, no. He did not do that. I gave consent. He was just joking. He shouldn't joke like that. And we did our. It was a hot mess. Because he shouldn't. Again, Charlemagne mouth. It's like it's his mouth that is going to take him down. It's his mouth that is bringing up. It ain't nobody else that's really making it. It's his words. You can go back to his old tweets. He said a lot of things, and it's concerning with sex. And how he like it, and how we're like, no.
And I just think, like you said, you listen to a man's words to tell you a lot. Listen to what people joke about, because that's what they serious about. If you hear them joking, listen to stuff like that. Right. You read in between the lines when they telling the jokes. Listen to them. Listen to them. And I used to hear people say back in the days, stop having diarrhea by the mouth. Looking at T.I., he got diarrhea by the mouth. Bill Cosby, diarrhea by the mouth. You running off at the mouth.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you just gotta, because they feel like they got so much to prove. I'm glad I ain't got nothing to prove to nobody. If anything happened, I'm not finna tell off on myself.
I want to ask you this. I asked women last night. Shout out to Deborah. I had her on the show last night.
Okay. Hey,
and I asked her, do you think Charlemagne the God will be canceled?
I don't. Look, this is the only way he gonna be canceled. Like you just said, there got to be a lot of women, black women, especially black women. Where they show it in New York? Their radio show?
Yeah, New York.
Y'all gonna have to get together in front of that radio station and let's do some protesting right in front of the radio station where he worked.
That's gonna have to happen.
Stuff like that. And they stay consistent. I think he'll get canceled then. And then like brother Kwame Brown, what he doing? Yeah, keep on doing that. All the YouTubers keep doing the stories. Yes, I seen the audio get leaked when he admitted to doing that to that girl. I shared that to my Facebook. I shared it to the Love and Hip Hop fan group on Facebook. It's a group with almost 70,000 members. You share stuff to that. Yeah, go and check that group out too, Wiley. You'll get a lot of retention from your content in that group. Love and Hip Hop of Atlanta fan group. So you look that up, share it to these big platforms, share it to Twitter. Let's wake it back up, because you got to think it's been a lot of stuff that went on that got recirculated on the internet, and it goes viral again. Stuff from 10 years ago recirculated in the system, and it brought attention to it. And so if we want to get people like him gone, that's what we're going to have to do.
Absolutely. That's going to have to be done. So you have to actually put the work in. Even when, let's go back to Bill Cosby. I think he's going to die in prison, unfortunately.
I think so.
Because this man had put so many black people in college. He have donated so much money. He created a lot of black millionaires. And it's unfortunate that he's going to go down in history as a predator, and he's going to probably die blind and old in prison. And he deserves it. Because if you did these stuff, you don't need to be walking around free.
No, you don't. You don't. Just like,
and all of the women who did that, you don't need to be walking around free. So you get what you put out in the universe.
Exactly. And it's so sad that it was so much. It is so much. It not just in the entertainment industry, but in the world, it's so much perverted energy. It's so much perverted energy. All people do is advertise sex all the time. You see it up and down Instagram, all over the internet. You open up your phone, it's ads showing, provocative women. People just need to start having more self-control, because you see in a lot of instances where people just feel like they're having fun, they're getting messed up,
Uh,
they're getting caught up and their lives are being ruined
I,
because you're a pervert.
yeah.
Shout out to Minister Jeff. You pervert.
Let's talk about Bryshere Gray. Another just shocking that he beat his wife and now he's gonna serve. And he's not. I think he's only 10 days. I think in jail, and I think the rest gonna be like on probation. And what's sad to me is when he did his when they was interrogating him, he was just going off the rails, talking like he was crazy, like he wasn't even making sense. And he did that to his wife. And what I was thinking, I was like, what could have happened to make him snap to put his hands on his wife? I think in Hollywood, once you start to lose thing in Hollywood, you no longer getting that phone call. You will start to take it out on your wife or people around you. And it trigger him, and now you want to put your hands on it. And she have no control of him getting jobs in Hollywood. She have no control of Empire being canceled. Blame Jussie Smollett. Put hands on him if you want to put hands on somebody. But on his wife and how she had to run out of the house, it's just really sad. And I was talking to someone. I said, I do not respect a man that put his hands on a woman. I don't respect a woman that put her hands on a man. If it's not in self-defense and you just randomly if me and you dating, we married, and I just come up to you, baby, is the chicken ready? No, the chicken is ready. I just slap. That's not cool.
Oh, I swear. That happened to me before in a relationship. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's crazy how much untreated mental illness is, in our community too. I think, like you said before, I think he do have a little issue, and he got some type of mental illness. He haven't had checked out. He haven't, been going to the doctor, taking his meds, having any kind of counseling. Around the time when it happened, I'm not for sure if this was his first time doing it, because I'm not in a house. I don't know for sure, but I know at that time it was around the shutdown had just happened and everything. Once the shutdown happened, where we were in the house. We were in the house. We were in the house with our mates. Some of us haven't even been spending time with our family members like that, to keep it honest. I was just talking to you before we start the show a little bit. I was telling you, I work 9 days in a row. I work from Tuesday all the way to Wednesday straight, 9 hours. And, a lot of us are not just in the house with our loved ones. So we have a time where we have to be in the house and we can't go anywhere. And you're right here with your mate. And, sometimes how people can have the right mind to, hey, I'm feeling heated. This argument getting heated. I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to go in the backyard if I had to, smoke me a cigarette, chill out, and I'm going to go back in there in a little bit. Everybody don't have that mind. Some people just go, go, go. Oh, you did that? Bow. The chicken ain't done? Bow. What? Who that on your phone? Bow.
You see, and for me, it's just so sad because domestic violence, due to this pandemic, was increased. It was up. I don't know the numbers.
Oh, yes.
High.
Divorces were too.
Yeah, divorce was up. Child abuse was up. Everything was up because then you were able to see that person. And some were shocked. They never saw that part because you hitting rock bottom. Everybody can't handle hitting rock bottom. Being in the house, losing jobs, losing opportunities. That's when you really know what kind of man you married to or what kind of woman you married to, when you really have tests and trials. And it's just unfortunate that Bryshere did this. And I personally believe the justice system failed his wife, because how is he just serving 10 days, a little short amount of jail time, and just the rest probation, and he beat his wife? He should at least serve like 5 or 10 years, at least 5 years.
I wonder this though, Wiley. Are they still together?
I don't know, but I won't be shocked. I will not be shocked if she's still with him. I will not be shocked if
Thank you.
Press charges.
Thank you. That's what makes a big difference. And you know what? Sad to say, the courts look at stuff like that. Oh, are they still together? Kind of most of the time on how they determine the case. Are they still together? that makes a big difference. But if she left him, I think in certain states, the state gonna pick stuff up too. In certain states they'll let it go. It's just different depending on where you are. But if they still together, that determines a big part of how that case go in how it's gonna play out in court.
And it shouldn't be that way. Like the state should step in. If someone is getting beat, the state should automatically, even if Katie said, "Hey, I don't want to press charge," the state should say, "Okay, we're gonna do it anyway because you were attacked." You know what I'm saying? And because those people don't need to be on the street, because what's gonna happen is if my cousin, his sister, may she rest in peace, she passed. The man beat her to death. But other situations happen, and she said, "Oh, I don't want to press charges." And one good whipping that she got, she did not live to tell the story. And now her children, now they're in with the state because mama is gone in the graveyard, dad is in jail. And it's just like, look at that. But if the state, I think, would have intervened earlier when they did it happen, but they need some type of cooperation from the victim. And they go, and it's, I couldn't be a police officer if I see that. Like, this is going on. You hear in this house 3 or 4 times, and then you go there, then now she dead because he killed her. Like I just cannot fan like that. It's just so sad to me. And you're not a real man if you do that. You got a sickness. And a lot of times they develop this because they see mom getting abused, dad abusing mom. Or if you really research people that abuse women, it's a high chance that they have witnessed that at a young age, that they developed it at a young age.
That is true. That's true. And I just think that when oh wait, I had a brain fart. Yeah. Yeah. I really do believe they have seen that growing up in the house. They seen that a whole lot. And another thing is whenever I think whenever a woman is going through that, it's important that she leaves. Look, when it comes to making laws, any type of law, especially laws dealing with domestic violence. I don't know. I know you were probably young when the O.J. Simpson trial went on, Wiley, right? How old were you then?
Oh, OJ was that like 90 what?
94.
I was 4 years old.
Oh, okay. See, I was in junior high, so I remember I was in junior high. I remember when OJ got off and everybody cheered. And, So, yeah, I remember all that. But after that happened, even though he got off, they did change some laws dealing with domestic violence stuff. They changed laws dealing with the restraining order thing, the order of protection when a person beating on their wife or whatever, they get an order of protection against them. If you violate it, it's automatic jail. So that law did change, but it's really, really sad to say that a whole lot of lives have to be lost in order to make a change. It's almost like we as the people got to be some sacrificial lambs in order to implement change. And that's the real sad thing about our justice system.
It's really sad because when you go back to the OJ, she was actually crying out for help.
She was. You seen in pictures where she had black eyes.
It was like it's just really sad. And unfortunately, the justice system failed. The police failed his wife. OJ's
the whole justice system.
And now look at what happened. There's so many cases like that that just get pushed under the rug. And I do believe that it needs to be tougher laws concerning to protecting women. It's not just women that get abused; it's same gender loving. They deal with abuse as well, and the numbers are up in there. It just don't get reported because a man, you don't want to go to the police station saying another man,
beat you up.
Right. Some of the police kind of laughed at you. Like, really? Get in the jail. That goes on too, even dealing with in the lesbian community. So it goes on.
They say it's the highest.
Yes. It's like it just goes around, and I just hope that that something happened where the numbers can go down because during this pandemic it was up.
It was up. And it's just you're not used to being around that mate. Maybe people need to spend more time together. I don't know how long he was married to her, but sometimes people just like the idea of being married and they don't really intimately physically know the person they're marrying. They just like the idea of marriage.
Some people
So
like
get to know who you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. Get to know who you're gonna be in a relationship with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Court them. You gotta court them. You gotta get to know them. When they sleep, look at them. Have you ever woke up and somebody was looking at you while you were sleeping, Wiley? Just
I don't want that. That's scary. Don't just up and just look at me while I'm in the bed. That is some scary stuff. Don't do it. So I'm gonna look at you straight like, why are you staring at me? And this just reminds me of Life when Eddie Murphy was looking at, I think, Marty. He said, what are you looking at? I was just like, Eddie Murphy was like, I'm just trying to see what kind of plan you coming up with. What you mean? He was just staring. I'm like, no, don't just stare at me. I don't like it when people stare at me. Like, don't just stare. That's creepy.
They try to get to know you, Wiley. That's what
right. Me personally, Kate, I'm gonna talk about you brought up relationship. I don't want to be with somebody that I don't like and just miss it. I don't want that. I'm happy being single. I'm happy, I'm in the bed by myself. I'd rather have that than to be with somebody I don't like. It's just depression, sadness, arguing. I don't want to live in chaos.
I do not want to live in chaos. And while that reminds me of this guy, I ended up, that Facebook has a dating app. I don't know if you guys use it, but I just be on there browsing, and I remember this one guy had ran across, I was like, I'm never talking to anybody. Let me try to get somebody a chance. So I'm talking to him on the phone. We sit up on the phone like 2 hours just talking. And from that conversation, everything was just negative. Everything was just, I'm talking about traveling. He told me, why you want to travel? Them people don't want to see you. I'm like, I don't like him. Yeah, he said that.
And I now I like to travel. I was in Atlanta. I went to go see, shout out to Day. We went to Monique Comedy Show at Uptown Comedy Club. And then I just recently got back. I like to travel. And one thing about traveling for me is the experience. And I never did like overseas. I definitely want to do like overseas. It's the experience, right? And you want to be with somebody that's interested in what you're interested in. I don't want to be with somebody, you're doing that. You don't need to be doing all talking down me. If I'm trying to do a YouTube channel, don't worry about it. You ain't gonna never make. I don't need people to talk down.
I promise.
So bad. I need people to uplift. We should be uplifting each other, and it should be a teamwork.
Thank you. And it's really sad that sometimes your mate can be the one discouraging you more than some random stranger on the street.
Facts.
You'll walk across a random stranger in the mall, and they're like, "Hey, you're gonna be somebody. Whatever it is you doing, keep doing it." They don't even know what I'm doing. I could be out here digging ditches every day.
There was a lady that I work with, and she was verbally abused. Her husband was abusing her, saying she don't look good and all, and she's beautiful, but she didn't know it because all of the years of just negativity. And then one day when she snapped out of it, she said, "Oh my God, I look good." She had to snap out, and she living her best life now. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful. And it's just like, why would you speak down to somebody? You're supposed to uplift your partner. But again, you're dealing with somebody that is broken, that have probably an undiagnosed mental illness and probably got so much trauma, and they never got healing from that. And they get in a relationship with you, Katie, and now you got to deal with all that trauma and deal with all that negativity. You were
and good. They just sucked the life.
You was living your life, had a good thriving career, got with this man, and he just destroyed you by piece, and just made you make you get in the gutter with him. I don't think I've seen that so
that's not right. I went through it. I remember it was at one point in 2014, I lost 68 pounds in like 5.5 months. And that's when I had ended up meeting this one guy, and I got in a relationship with him. He didn't even like me going to the gym. He didn't like me working out. He said that I'm trying to talk to guys, and I gained weight when I was with him. He like made me cook every day. I felt like a maid.
Oh my gosh,
I felt like a maid. I'm like, so is this what women brag about when they be bragging about their boyfriend?
Really?
It was a horrible experience.
Oh my God.
And
You had
it
to.
was horrible.
So now I want to ask you before we get into Nicki Minaj, what keeps you going to continue to date once you had all them bad experiences?
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Whenever you see a person out here that's just single, it's because they've done and dealt with relationships like this. So most of those people don't bounce back, but you have some that do bounce back after those kind of toxic relationships, and they'll jump right back into another one, and it becomes a pattern. So I just think whenever you ran across a bad relationship, take some time to yourself, make some self improvements, look at who you are, because that way you can figure out what you are attracted.
Facts. That's that it is, and take time with yourself, and really get to know a person. Date, go out to eat, just simple stuff. Go to the gym. If you like to go to the gym, make sure the guy is like, okay, you like to go. Let's go to the gym. Let's work out together. You know what I'm saying? Let's go out to coffee. Get those intimate moments, and just see how it goes. And get on the phone with a person. If they talking crazy, they probably gonna be crazy in the relationship. So don't give them a chance.
Don't give him a chance. I didn't even go out with this guy. I was like,
No, don't be desperate. You know what I'm saying? Don't be
desperate.
Don't be. I've seen so many women that's so desperate that they just need a man, and you don't need a man. That take the need out of it, because you going there. I just need. You gonna get somebody that you don't need. Okay.
Yes, you don't get anything.
Right. And, I've seen people neglect their children just for a man because they want to be like, come on. If you have children, you have to understand it's a sacrifice. That your chances of maybe meeting a man, it's going to be a journey. It's going to be, and you also not only got to think for yourself, you got to think for your children. It's not just you.
Thank you.
If you single with no kids, okay, it's you make this shit. But when you got children, especially teenage, whatever, if you know the guy, you got to make sure he don't like kids, like in that sick way. You got to make sure that he's not looking at your boys, and it's really really a lot. So you just got to be. I pray that women get a good man. That's my prayer, especially if you're other. I pray that all women get to experience love. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still a woman. And I always talk to women. I'm like, are you still a woman? Like when you're a mother and all that, when do you have time to be a woman? And
thank you.
And I was like, Lord, one woman said it's been a long time. This is a long time. Like going out. I don't even talking about like sex. I'm talking about going to the mall, getting your nails done, getting the massage. Because I've seen so many women, I got to do the kids like, but you're still a woman. And I've seen so many women sacrifice being a woman just to be a mother, and they lose themselves. Even Jada Pinkett Smith, she was talking about that she lost herself by just being Will Smith's wife. She kind of like find herself. And I'm like, wow.
I heard her say that. She said she was busy being a wife. And, it's sad to say, as far as their relationship, she was, I think, more focused on being a wife than being a mother. I noticed that in some, not saying, I'm not trying to come at a motherhood, but it's a lot of things that were really, really kind of overlooked when it came to them raising their kids. I think a couple of them had their own place before they hit 18. So a lot of women just get caught up in my husband, my husband, my husband. We don't even know the man's name. All you say is my husband. Like, what is his name? Because I'm not finna refer to him as your husband, baby. But yeah, they get lost in those men, especially who they would call, a high value man. Those women really, really get caught up in just their husband. And what's really sad is when if those relationships don't work, their whole life is wrapped up in that person. They still have to walk away with a life if that relationship don't work. And your life and your whole sense of being is all caught up in this man.
Facts.
And then you look up and he with a woman in her early 20s, and you out here, he done got all your youth, and you just out here. Facts. Don't know what to do.
I'm here, you on there. All right, y'all. We get into our last topic, Nicki Minaj. She sold, I think, under 80,000 copies, maybe 80,000 for her new mixtape. Nicki Minaj, Beam Me Up, Scotty. Also, she released a statement on her Instagram. She said this: "I love you guys so much. Thank you. Can't wait to share my album with you real soon. I have to say this. Don't care who take it the wrong way. Beat Me Up, Scotty. No singles. Seeing Green is over 5 minutes with no hook. Singles, now 2 or 3 minute catchy hook. Fractions is just rapping for over like 3 minutes with no hook. No videos, which is always the biggest push for females, myself included. No radio, very little play listing playlists for big launches. No TikTok challenges, which have become extremely helpful to all artists. Love the app, by the way. No merch to tie into sales. No pre-existing singles out to add to my first week sales. So this it means more to me because it truly boils down to having the best fans on earth that wrote me 12 years later. Thank you. I want to say this though.
That was sweet.
Way her fans criticize people when they're critical of Nicki, she should be selling 500,000 to 600,000 copies in the first week. The way her fans come and drag people when somebody is just critical, have a difference of opinion. They go in your DMs. I will tell you, they were in my DMs dragging me for filth. And I just said, hey, I just think she's selfish. I think she needs to, let the other woman come out. I just had an opinion. And the way how they were so negative, you'd think that she was selling. And I'm like, and I wonder how many of those fans purchase her music or they're just Nicki fans by lip service and not Nicki fans by paying and opening up their wallet or their purse.
Thank you, Wiley. You made a very good point, and I'm gonna say this first. All of the stuff that she mentioned, as far as the criteria that are against her, that is kind of real. TikTok is a big promotion. Yeah, of course, radio is a big promotion, and there's a lot of stuff in avenues. I think it was some kind of pause with the ratings on Billboard at the time that her stuff got released. So those are little things that are against her. But yes, you're right about when it comes to the fans. So, I just think if you out here and you going hard for her, you jumping in people's inbox that you feel like coming at her, you need to use that same energy to download that music, download her music so it'll shoot her numbers up. And you guys know, I think some of the same stuff was going on with Cardi B as well. Her records were, a little lower than what she planned to. And Cardi gets Cardi gets a good push, as far as it comes to promotion. Yeah. And it was some numbers that weren't quite what they thought, but, were pretty high. And, she wasn't where she wanted. So she have a lot of diehard fans out here too. So while all of these fans are out here running around on the internet, y'all go download her stuff. But you got to think too, especially when it comes to a lot of like Cardi fans, a lot of them are underage people. Some of them probably don't even have a job to even have the money to download the music. And, with Nicki, she has a lot of older type of fans. I wouldn't say old, but she got hot back in 2009. I remember her with Gucci Mane back in 2007. I remember when she hit that Gucci track, and I was like, who is that? I remember her all the way back from the day. So you fast forward all the way to 2021, a lot of her fan base are probably late 20s on up into my age, late 30s, 40s or whatever. But come on, let's buy her music. And we out here growing for her.
And as well, her team have to do a better job to market Nicki Minaj in this new era of music. This era is different from 2009 because if she's not, she will end up like Kim, where you get lost. Because Kim team, it shouldn't be people that you was dealing with Biggie. You need to fire those people and get people that will do the TikTok, that will push radio, that will push merch, because it's different ways to sell music, because people are not buying music like they used to. They're not buying music like they used to because it's so easy. It's so easy that you can get on YouTube and all this, all download. So you have to think of creative ways to get people to be attracted to your music. And even though this is a 12 years old mixtape, I just think that she should have did a better job, pushing this project. I think her team did not do a better job. And me honestly, I think Nicki Minaj should listen to her team A or B, get people on her team that will actually help her to thrive in this new era, because now it's choreography and don't nobody just want to hear you just having bars over my. They want to see you dance. It's just so
Yeah.
it's different now. You got the Megans, you got the Dream Dolls, you got Erica Banks coming up, you got who else
Mhm.
in here, and you also got Cardi, you got Doja Cat, and Doja Cat
Yeah.
pop. I don't even know why they even consider her as a rapper, but that's the way they be relevant, because Nicki did the same thing. If you remember, she did a lot of pop records and they criticized her for it. So
Yeah, they did.
I just think that the market really wasn't here for a mixtape like what Nicki is trying to produce, because it was dated, right? If this was 2009, 2010, she would have sold more copies because people are
Oh,
being
yes.
in that. But I think people are not interested in that. And I understand when people say, well, this was the highest mixtape ever. People wasn't really releasing mixtapes and selling mixtapes like that anyway. So of course it would be the highest mixtape ever. Like, I
Right.
different statements. Oh, it's the highest mixtape ever. And no, people are just really out here releasing mixtapes. They releasing albums. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
it is what it is.
That's true. You got to get up to the time. You right about that, Wiley. People do have to get up to the time. And sometimes if you're not internet savvy, sometimes if you don't have that push, it's hard. And that's the worst thing for a talented person. Because I think Lil' Kim was talented. I don't know what you think about Lil' Kim, but
Oh, she's very
I was back in the era. I think Lil' Kim is very talented. And it's just things are ever evolving, things are always changing.
facts.
And you just gotta stay up with the time. It's kind of like when I first started my first YouTube video, I was on a blurry, downgraded phone. I was on a flip phone. I was just I did my first video from a flip phone. I'm just,
You, everything is evolving. YouTube have changed. It's different
yes,
out here. You know what I'm saying? Now,
yes,
so now you really got to be out here consistent. You got to think of creative ways to get attention, to get people to watch your content and be appreciative to people that's over here watching. So things are always changing. I had a conversation with somebody. I said, I don't dislike Nicki. I purchased Nicki Minaj mixtape. I went to iTunes and I purchased it. I think it's great. It's very outdated. I just hope that this album, I want to see album Nicki. I don't want to hear this old mixtape. Don't release none that was 13, 14 years old. I want to hear, where is Nicki Minaj musically in this new era with the with the Megans and with the Cardis, with the Doja Cat, with the Agent Doll, with all these new people. I want to know, how is she going to sway in a sound? What is that sound that she's going to make? That's what I want to know. That's
right.
because you can easily, but this was an old mixtape. This is like 12 years old. No, I want to see album. I want to see the rollout, all that, because that ain't nothing but a cover. I think that she's quite frightened that she don't know if she able to compete with these new women that are out right now, because Cardi have dominated the charts, Megan dominating the charts. So I don't know. I think that she might not never say it's just my humble opinion. I think that she frightened. I don't think that she thinks she can compete with these new girls out here. And we should see a lot of people going to kiss Nicki Minaj, but it's no competition. She's the best on it. But behind closed doors, they're critical of her. They say, "Oh, why she releasing something that's 12 years old? Man, give us something new." But radio show, "Oh, she the best and everything," because you gotta kiss her butt and all that. But I'm just gonna give my honest opinion on what I think about her. And at the end of the day, when she releases a new record, I'll buy it. If I don't like it, I get on the show and say I don't like it. If I like it, I'll say I like it. I'm just not that.
Right.
I will never reach out to somebody. Oh, people criticize Brandy. I don't never reach out to people in their DMs about Brandy, because I don't do. I'm an adult. I'm a working man. So it is your opinion.
Yes, you can never stop a person from having an opinion. And I think that's where a lot of the rah-rah and the drama and the back and forth under the post and the comment, that's where that comes in. is when you feel like somebody's opinion is wrong about something. But yeah, I just think Nicki is having some going on with kind of fitting into this really ever changing internet world.
Change.
And a lot of people do have problems with it. And, look at how long she's been out. I mean, what, 15, 16 years or something like that? It's been, about 15 years. Yeah, strong. And it's just, you have a lot of women out here that's doing something. And then she just had a baby, not trying to make excuses for her, but she just had a baby.
Yeah.
She's still kind of like newlywed, stuff like that.
And her husband,
so she's still
her husband that's on the offenders list, that kind of damaged her reputation as well. She took a big hit. Because people were looking at her strange, like, you already got your brother in prison for what he did to a minor. Then you got a husband that are the minor, and you married him. So she took a big hit to her brand.
Yeah, so she dealing with some stuff. But I think she's strong enough to make a comeback. I don't. Oh, yes. You follow her on Instagram, right?
I do. I follow her. Yes.
Yeah, so she's been really active. She really has made a comeback. I see her very consistently posting, looking like a bad Barb as usual.
Yeah. So TikTok videos though, because let me tell you about TikTok, and we're gonna go. I went to Chicago. My little niece, 4 years old. She know how to do TikTok, and she taught me how to do TikTok. So that is a powerful tool because the kids are into TikTok. Like people have been put on shows because of TikTok. So she needs to learn how to use that. Even myself as a YouTuber, you have to know how to use Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Bingo. Clubhouse, Snapchat. It's so much out there. You need to learn how to use if you want to be ahead of the curve, or you're going to get lost in the sauce.
You're going to be lost.
I'm telling you.
You're going to be like me, stuck at 1100.
Yeah, and it's all about, and you know what, Katie? It's all about consistency. YouTube, you could do a topic today and go ultra viral. You could be an overnight sensation. It happened with Kwame. Did you just tell me? What did you tell me on the phone when I was at Walmart?
Kwame Brown, he actually broke a YouTube record with the height that he moved in subscribers. In like 24 hours, he went from 40,000 subs all the way up to, I think, 200 and some thousand in 24 hours. He broke a record.
See there? So he probably was stuck at 40,000 for a long time. And for me, I tell my story. I have been doing YouTube. I've been on maybe 10 years. Let's just say 10 years, probably more than 10 years, right? And I'm almost at 20,000 subs. To other people, they have started maybe 6 months and at 80,000.
Yeah, I see that.
It's just at your timing, and when you find your niche, and when you really get it, and then you really take off. It happens that way. And so when it happens for me, I'm gonna be able to go around the country and say, if it can happen for me, I'm gonna take this mic off. It can happen for you. Because if I can do it the way that I look, and you can do it too, it's not hard. It's hard work. When I say it's not hard, it is. Consistent. And Kwame, you really can't compare because he is a celebrity. He played basketball. Don't just put it like regular Joe off the street, and he just became. Oh, he got ESPN talking about this man. So he has Charlotte talking about. So he have a better come up because he's a celebrity. But if you look at Kevin Samuels, you look at what he found his niche. High value man.
He was doing YouTube 3 years.
You see what I'm saying? And look what he at now. So I just tell people, don't just look at a person at 1 million. Look at their humble beginnings.
Mm-hmm.
Got there. Don't just feel bad because you really got to put in work on YouTube. I'm telling you. It's challenging when you work. It is challenging when you have children because you have other responsibilities. For me, the reason why they say, "Oh, I don't have children. I'm not married. I don't have nobody. It's just me." So I can easily put out a video and I'm going live in the middle of the night. But if you got a baby that's crying, you just can't go live and your baby crying. Then they're gonna be talking about you a bad mother.
Yeah, because it be women doing it, and
Right.
people calling DHS on them.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want nobody coming. I've seen people was doing YouTube and their kids was crying and they got reported and people was knocking on the door. You know, the social workers, the people.
I heard about stuff like that,
And
Wiley,
so,
especially in the beef sector.
yes, I'm telling y'all that is exactly what goes on, and it's just being consistent. We could do a topic tomorrow, Katie, and both of us could just be overnight sensation. We both get dragged by celebrity. Can you
It's
believe
gonna happen.
it's going to happen? I feel it for me. I said, "Oh, it's going to happen." I don't know when, but I can feel it. You can feel a
Yeah.
shift. You can feel this. For me, I feel it every day I wake up. I said, it's a different shit. I think I'm gonna do it. That's why I said, let me bring back Two Man and Lady, because when I make it, I want to put other people on. I don't want them to just be struggling. If I can help you, come on, let's go. Let's get her subscribers up. Let me drop your link.
Yeah.
Subscribe to your channel
Thank
because
you, Wiley.
tell people about your channel.
Yes.
About it. Yeah.
Yes, well, I do breaking news stuff that go on in everyday life. I cover a few trending topics dealing with celebrities. I've done a few updates on the Ti and Tiny situation. Um, it's a lot of stuff. I was telling Wiley, I don't have to search far for news because there's always something going on in my hometown. I just had somebody inbox me on Facebook about a story. I most definitely be coming with that probably later on tonight or early in the morning. It's a lot of stuff. I got a documentary on the way. I'm gonna get started on that. Well, finishing up some recording on that in the morning. So most definitely that should be coming in probably another week or so. Actually, about a situation in my hometown dealing with a serial killer. So I got a lot of stuff on the way. I know you probably look at it and see I post it. I try to post at least once a week, most definitely. So make sure you subscribe because it's a lot of good stuff coming.
Yes. So we want to thank you so much for your love, for your support. I
Thank
really like
you.
Man and Lady. Constantly will be back next week. Hopefully we can all be back next week. It's really challenging when you do panels because everybody working. Now, once we become millionaires,
Yeah.
we say, "Oh, let's do it right now. We can
Let's
fly."
do it.
You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
we working bloggers. You know what I'm saying? But
Yes.
be able to just do this full time and do other things and business and stuff like that. That's right now we working bloggers. So
Yes.
we gonna do it today. Oh, let's reschedule. I gotta do a double on Saturday. I gotta do a double on
Yes.
Sunday. When you free on Tuesday? Okay. All
I know, but we fits it in. We fits it in, and we got to make time. We know if we want you to subscribe, we got to stay consistent. And I know that's what Wiley been
I'm
doing.
telling
Thank you
y'all,
for
it's about
encouraging me,
being
Wiley.
consistent because I was stuck at. I tell my testimony at 5,000 for like a year, and then I kept doing it, and then I left the B sector, and I started doing celebrity gossip, and then I started getting more subscribers. And one thing that I learned, Katie, talk is getting them recommendation. That's why it's important for people to like your video because if you get a lot of likes, YouTube will start recommending your content to just regular people on YouTube, and you get new viewers. That is one.
Oh
That's
yes.
that's one of the key, and that's why it's good to look at other YouTubers and see what you don't have to watch their content just to see what they're talking about like this Kwame Brown, you have to talk about it because that's going to drive traffic because people are going to be on YouTube looking for Kwame Brown. They're going to be looking for Charlamagne content and all of that. And you just do all of that content. And I've seen many people get subscribers and views of having, talking about things that are in the news. You know what I'm saying? And just do what you're
Yes.
passionate about. And another thing, do what you love to do. Do what you love to talk about. What are you passionate? Because you may not be passionate about celebrity gossip. You may be passionate about talking about animals or talking about relationship goals. So it's do what you're passionate about and watch what successful people are doing and try to see how can you put your spin to it.
Yes. Now that is good. And I was really thinking I do have a passion for the news and stuff like that. News stories and I mean one thing about watching the regular news, they're not allowed to give their opinion. That's the good thing about being a YouTuber. If I'm coming with a story, especially when it's dealing with kids and it's a lot of horrible things out here happening to kids, the fact that we can give our opinion
Facts.
on stuff like that, it can bring change. with these little news stories, you can get teachable moments out of those.
Absolutely, and it's definitely going to happen. And of course, you deal with haters, like you deal with a person in the chat. Oh, you've been stuck at Twitter. That you hear that a lot, but I look at it like it's successful because here you are making a comment about me, how I'm so stuck at Twitter. That means you
But he
concerned.
watching you. He
That
watching
means,
you. They giving you engagement and giving you a comment down in your comment
right,
section.
so that
So thank
really,
you for the engagement.
because like when I talked about Nicki Minaj, and it was so, I mean, it was a firestorm when I said what I said about Nicki. That'll let you know that I have power in this mic because you know what I'm saying? Because the people went in. That's what I'm like, whoa. And I've been doing YouTube forever, but when I did that video about Nicki and I said Nicki Minaj is a selfish woman, and to see the response of the people on Twitter, I never had a tweet that had over 500 retweets and 600 likes.
Wow.
I never had that
Oh,
before.
wow.
But when you hit on something that people like, or you're critical of something, they're going to respond. It's just going to happen.
Yes, yes. You hit on those trending topics and you come with your personality. Eventually it's gonna pop like, oh wow, you got those many retweets. That is awesome.
Yeah, because they was really coming. They were coming at me hard. They was in my DMs, and we had lost some subscribers, but they're coming back because that's what they do. They leave and they come back.
Leave and they come back.
You cannot really look at your channel and just look at how many subscribers. You have to look at your engagements, how many people are commenting, how many people are watching. You just can't go back and subscribe. I know people that don't have that many subscribers, but they have a high, like their audience is highly engaging. Like they comment, they retweet, they
I
share.
noticed it.
So it's not always about, because you can have, this is the thing I tell people. You can have a YouTube channel with 100,000 subscribers and maybe get a video with 500 views, 1,000 views. I've seen it happen with people that
I've seen it happen
at 160 some thousand subscribers, and you got a video with 2,000 views. So that what happened to your people? That means you have lost. People have just lost interest in your channel. You know what I'm saying? So do you want that, or would you want a channel that is just growing slowly, but yet you're growing, versus you
slow and steady
and you get no views? I've seen people that is like that right now. I'm not gonna say no names, but they don't get so many. They get the same amount of views I get, and they had 160 some thousand subscribers.
Wow, they say slow and steady wins the race.
Oh boy.
Slow and steady always wins the race. And you right, Wiley. I have seen people with 200, 300 subs and their views be like 80,000.
Oh boy, speaking.
And they have a high amount of likes, and they got some dislikes too. But yes, they have that engagement, and that's what's really, really, really important.
And live, another thing YouTube that have changed, and this is for people that are content creators, going live changed the game. Because back in the day, I could not tap an audience doing pre-recorded videos, because that was the only way. Because remember, YouTube wasn't always doing it. This is just some recent, a couple of years, that you were able to live stream. Back in the day, you had to pre-record your video, edit it, pre-record, and it was so difficult for me to gain audience. But now that it's live,
it's coming through.
It put a lot of YouTubers on versus them sitting at home and pre-recording and put it out, and you may get 5 or 10 views. And, everybody didn't make it in that era because it was very challenging to get an audience.
Oh yeah, see, I started in the era where I was able to go live, and I heard about the StreamYard. The StreamYard is a perfect tool, and there's other methods. Have you heard of the mailing app?
I heard of that. Yes, it's so.
Yeah, that's another live. And OBS. You ever use OBS?
I do. I use that now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking about checking that out myself.
I recently started using it. I'm telling y'all, and it's and stuff. So I'm learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right now, I may go back live and do some more videos, but I just had to just come and talk to you about it because this show, I really wanted it to be successful, and in order you want it, you got to put that work in. So when you get that success, oh baby, you gonna be able to tell a story. Like, I remember.
Yes, I remember when I was on 2 Man and a Lady.
Okay, you'll be able to go back to those to those moments. You know what I'm saying? You will be able to go back, and then you get your people that's so critical. Because how I get it, you get a lot of criticism. You've been on YouTube for 10 years. You should have more people, and you can't listen to that because what that
You
will do
cannot.
is discourage you and be like, "Well, I should give up." No, you gotta keep the key word is consistency. You can't give up because if you give up, you would never know if you would ever make it to a million because you tapped out. So you got to keep at it.
Yes, keep at it, keep going, keep pushing. Whether you crawling, walking, or running, just keep going.
Yes, thank you so very much. I want to say thank you so much to all the moderators in the house. Thank you so
Thank
much, Katie
you.
Talk 101. And
Thank you for having me.
yeah, shout out to y'all. Make sure y'all thumbs up the video and leave us a comment and see how we did. This was wonderful. And like I said, shout out to Conch TV. He should be back next week. And we will see y'all then. Have a nice
All right.
night. Peace.